Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first round of the seventh season of RLH's C2 division. And I am joined here tonight by my co-commentator Multirab. Welcome, Multirab.
Yes, it would be welcome everyone. It would be hoping for a good race tonight after yesterday's difficulties. So I'm sure we'll get a great race out of the C2 action tonight.
Yes, hoping to that the servers manage to hang on tonight. Unfortunately, a lot of league racing has been cancelled the last night because of the Codemaster servers. And we already have the first car out on track. It's Zeppadoodle, who is on his first season actually in RLH.
There we go. On the mediums as well, I noticed. I've seen when I was commentating on Romanian League, a lot of softs were used for qualifying, and everyone started on softs too. So we'll see if that'll bode
Well,
for going on medium, or will it switch to softs later on?
most likely, we will see everyone qualifying on softs, as Austria is not that harsh on tires. So, oh my God, I'm just getting a word from the paddock that we will have rain in this race. So basically, this is going to be a killer of a first round here in Austria, and we are getting ready for quite some action tonight.
Well, it'll be some test of the drivers then, because while this might not be as difficult to track a lot of straights, the rain will make it a much more difficult task for the drivers. It is
Sure.
only the best chance, in my opinion, though, even though it is quite simple. It's one of the biggest.
Surely. We have Zeppadoodle transiting now Sector 3 and getting ready to set the benchmark time for this session on the medium tire. Surely he will change it for the softs as fast as he can. And we get a mark of 104.8.
Good luck,
Yep. As we have a lot of drivers out on track now and on fast laps. Sørensen already, another driver who is on his first season with RLH, is setting a faster time on the softer compound. We are now with Prince Killer, one of the fastest drivers in this tier. Oh my God, we have a yellow flag. Oh no, it may most likely someone who slowed down. So I was saying we have Prince Killer with us. We are watching him now, and he is one of the faster drivers in this tier, and always a favorite for wins and podiums.
Yeah, just coming to the end of that, let's see what time can be set. Bjorn sets a 1-4 flat as well, but Prince Killer sets a 1-4-3-4. Goes the fastest so far.
The Red Bull of Jerome has slid into third, and Donkey Dan with the fastest time of the session so far. This is going to be an extremely important qualifying. If we have rain the entire race, track position will be extremely important to avoid that T1 mayhem that might come. We are now with the Racing Point driver Fretty, who is navigating Sector 2, and we'll surely hope that he has been missing for a while from F1 racing, and he has just come back this season. Let's see what he can do crossing the line in just a bit. a 105, and this is surely going to be only warm-up for the Racing Point driver. As we still wait for times, and we have the McLaren of Fiscal leaving the pits for his outlap. Mobile Reptile, another new driver in this category. Oh, we have Fiscal. We have Fiscal's McLaren, who most likely kissed the wall there and just lost it. Meanwhile, meanwhile, Mobile Reptile invalidated his lap, while Josh is leaving the pits. Is coming in the pits without setting a time, most likely invalidated. Black Mamba on a fast lap now in Sector 2. Let's see what he can do. Trying to put in a good qualifier, and he was purple in Sector 2, so throwing that car around the corner, coming for it, and he does set a time good enough for P5 this time around.
Also noticed that the Red Bull, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, got into 6th place with a 103.9, beating out Jerome, his teammate.
The times are starting to fall, and we will see improvement, no doubt about it. Meanwhile, 3 drivers not setting a lap time so far, with Mobile Reptile again invalidating.
An easy track to invalidate on, probably just as easy as the setting pre-season race in France.
Of course, yes. Track limits are extremely harsh around this track. Only 10 corners, only 10 turns for Austria, but 10 extremely harsh corners to navigate. Every bit of track needs to be used in order to get a good lap time in, and at the same time you need to be extremely aware to not invalidate. Meanwhile, Sørensen has improved Donkey Dance time, and he is on provisional pole right now. With Invisible leaving the pits.
It's just as you said earlier, the times are just tumbling as the qualifying session goes on, as the drivers perfect their laps and the track gets better. Linskeller just invalidated his second lap.
We are now with Mad Chip, who is actually a driver promoted from C5 last season. So this driver has an impressive improvement during the off season. He has amazed everyone in RLH with a stellar show in pre-season, and in every TT that he has shown that he is extremely improved. This is actually amazing improvement by this driver, and we are with him now while he navigates Sector 2, and will surely look to improve. And well, he is down on his time, but he is surely one of the drivers to follow throughout this season, and he is going to go in the pits, not losing any more time on a lap that was not what he wanted. Let's follow Invisible, who has not yet set a time. Black Mama there, sportingly getting out of the way. We have to say this track also has another tricky part, and that is the pit entry, which has to be taken between the white lines that are before turn 9. and that is not, surely that is not the ideal line, but drivers do have to take it. And Invisible with a time that puts him P8 for now.
I'm following Rector right now who set up the fastest sector 1, but his system validated his lap at the end of sector 2, so we'll still not be setting a time. Yeah, 1 or 2 more goes, I think.
The Red Bull of Jerome just improved his time just for a little bit, and we will watch him trying to go better than his current P9. Every bit of track limit needs to be exploited if you want a very good time. In C2 and in this division, a tenth can mean the difference between 3 or 4 places. Oh, Jerome just loses and he invalidates right on the last turn, while he actually had improved enough, and he would have been P5, I think. So unfortunately for Jerome, he will have to take another lap in order to be able to improve. While we have Fretty, who is 4 tenths down on his time, up on his time, and he is going to improve quite a bit if he can manage to keep it clean until the end. And this was a clean lap, and let's see what he can do crossing the line. He does improve, but not quite enough. So the Racing Point driver will have to give it another shot.
Yeah, so a 1:03.1 for Chris Miller gets on provisional pole position, 2 tenths up on second place. 5 minutes to go.
Yes, as we said, Prince Killer always a favorite in this category. We are now with Zepadul, who is going to try to improve his P11. A lot of yellow flags, but these are not necessarily caused by... Oh my god, Zepadul is bettering his time with 5 tenths until now, so he's going to improve by quite a bit. If he can keep this, he can go as high as even P5. Even better. P5? Yes, he is P5, yes. Very good lap. Very good lap from Zepadul at his first outing for Alfa Romeo in C2 in RLH. I think he will be pleased with the lap, and he still has time for another one. The pits are quite... a lot of cars in the pits waiting for the last run on low fuel, while we have Donkey Dan already improving 2 tenths on his time, and he is going to look for pole, I think.
It is very close as it usually is around Austria.
No! Donkey Dan is actually going in the pits. Unfortunately, he could have gone for pole. I think he already had. I think he was on his in lap.
Very quick in lap.
Yes, indeed. You know, sometimes I find myself being faster on the in lap than on the actual hot lap. I don't know why. Maybe the tires get into the optimum temperature, or it's just that you're maybe more into it, you know, after a couple laps you do better on the third. I don't know, but I never use the in lap for a fast lap, because you risk of getting to the race on those tires and ruining your race actually.
Wearing out the tires is not a great idea, but I guess in Austria it's maybe not as hard a punishment for it as you said earlier. Tire weather isn't so bad around Austria. Looks like we've got a mag chip fan in the audience.
Well,
and he's just out in an out lap right now as well.
let's see if Jerome comes in the pit. No, yes, he will come in. No, he's going for it. Let's see if Jerome manages to improve on his time. And he does improve, but just by a small margin that does not help a lot. Everyone in the pits, everyone getting ready for going out. And yes, let's please all the Matthew fans out there and watch the most improved driver of RLH in the Asia Cup on his attempt of bettering his P4 on his debut in C2. Going up the back straight is Mad Chip. Very good use of the track, and he does improve by. Oh my God! Invisible retired. Mad Chip has improved by a tenth, which is not quite enough yet. But if he can manage to find, he did go wide, but he didn't validate. So what can he do? Improves by 2/10, but unfortunately not good enough for him. He will get another run. He will get. Well, no, he won't, because I think he gave up on this one. Yes, he did give up. Prince Killer just passed him, and Prince Killer already improves on his pole time. You think we're gonna see high 102s?
Well,
you think?
I would love to. Yeah, I think there may be a chance. Especially since Prince Killer. Yeah, the second sector goes. That would just do it if he can keep that time. He's almost 2/10 up.
If someone can do it, he is the man. Using all that track there, and he will make it. Can he? Yes, he can. And 102.9 for Prince Killer on provisional pole so far. Sorensen improves on his time also in the first sector and in the second sector. Improves. He is hunting down Prince Killer, and he is going to put on a good fight for pole. Can he do it? Can the Haas driver snatch pole? No, he can. Just shy of the 103 flat.
Very good attempt at it.
Mobile Reptile managed to put a good lap in just in the nick of time, going P7 after not managing to put down a lap all session.
Donkey Dan unfortunately didn't better his time.
And this is qualifying over, ladies and gentlemen, and we are getting ready for the race. What do you think of that qualifying multi-wrap?
I find it very interesting. I thought we may get close to a 102, a high 102, but I wasn't sure we would actually make it. But of course, Prince Killer managed it, and Ash Driver Slan very close to doing it as well.
Yes, the Haas driver will be pleased with his first outing in RLH. P2 in his first race is looking very good for him.
I would also say from 3rd to 10th is covered by almost just half a second, so it's looking very close as well in that midfield for the points.
Unfortunate for Fiscal going out with not setting a lap time.
Yeah. Very unfortunate with the incident that he had.
But if the race is rainy, anything can happen. We already know.
I mean, you could come from the
And
back of the
we
grid.
have rain in Austria. We do have rain in Austria, and I think by the looks of it, it's going to be full wets. But we should wait and see.
If it is full wets, then that's even tougher than what most drivers go through. Full wets is very difficult to drive in it for anyone. I think it opens the race wide open for anyone in this league.
No, we have intermediates actually.
Oh well. If I was a driver and I thought it was going to be full wets and it came intermediates, I'd be happy.
Well, we should see.
Is everyone on the intros expected in wet conditions?
Prince Killer leading the field on the warm-up lap, and we have. Let's do a quick recap. We have Prince Killer and Sorensen on the first line of the grid, followed by Donkey Dan and Mad Chip in third and fourth. Zappadoodle, Wolf Strabert, Mobile Reptile, Black Mamba, Invisible, Dosh Josh, Jerome, Cotton Eye Joe, Dog Arbs, Fretty, and Fesco, who did not manage to get a lap time in. Seeing this weather, anything can happen, and I'm sure the Ferrari driver is going to be happy with pole, seeing as he will be safe from anything that can happen behind him.
Yeah, he also doesn't get the spray and the visibility issues, which have actually been made a bit more realistic in this game. It is actually quite difficult to see too far in front of you if you've got a car in front.
Yes, oh, we have someone already on the grass. It's Sorensen. Lost the car for a bit there. Fortunately, no damage is happening on the formation lap.
No one disqualified from the formation lap. That's nice.
Well, it doesn't really happen in C2. Maybe in the lower tiers, sometimes it happens where people are not so experienced. But we have to say that these people, the fact that you see people on the last row of the grid, does not mean they are not good racers. I mean, C2 is an extremely competitive tier. It's every driver here. Fisco is leading last on the grid, but he actually won a race in Asia Cup, so he's really not a shabby driver. So we will have to see. And while drivers are setting themselves up on the grid, and we will be getting this season underway in just a few seconds. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have lights. We have 2, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and they are out. And the way they go for the first race of this season, with Prince Killer having a very good start. And look at Madchip. Look at Madchip on the inside already. Oh no!
Oh no!
No, that's the Mercedes of Madchip losing it already. So unfortunate. Actually, I think it was with his teammate he collided. Yes, he did collide with Donkey Dan. So unfortunate for Madchip. What a race start that was for him. If he could just have managed. Look at Donkey Dan. He's already gunning for Prince's position, and he's going to go for the overtake.
Oh, that got close to.
Prince just manages to hold on. Meanwhile, everyone seems to have managed to get out safely, with Madchip unfortunately left behind.
The 2 Hasses were quite close.
Fortunately for him, he doesn't have damage, so he's going to be able to carry on.
Josh up to 6.
Very good start from everyone. clean start. So unfortunate for Mad Chip. So unfortunate with that tangle there. Well, Prince is left behind. What has happened to him?
Actually, it looks like he's still.
His whole? His car is whole? I've not seen what happened.
Still in the lead. He's still in the lead.
With Jerome, look at Jerome. No, wait. Just a second. No, it was just the graphics.
Yeah.
I got scared for a bit. I have to get used to it by now because ever since the new game has come up, we had these graphics problems. Yes. And we have the Asia Cup winner on YouTube commenting that he is dominating again. Shabby has been the winner of the Asia Cup and he has been promoted to the first tier of the RLH C1 and he will be competing there this season, while Prisker has gotten a great start and he is already putting a bit of distance between him and Donkey Dan, while in the back we have a lot of cars. We have a train of a lot of cars just having less than a second between them.
Usually we would have DRS, but not in these weather conditions, so it would make it a bit more difficult, I think, to overtake than usual.
It's really going to depend if it dries up.
Yes, that's the big question. Will it dry up, or will it even get worse, or will it be intermediates to full race?
Let's see who are the big winners. Fiscal is already up 4 positions, so that was a very good start for him. Dogarbs, a very good start for him. Mobile Reptile and Wolfstrabert also, and Josh also winning a lot of position. Sorensen lost out on P2 at the start.
Yeah, there was a lot of mixed starts, probably because of the weather conditions. Maybe some of the driver there's yellow and invisible at the back of the grid now. Doesn't
What?
look like there's damage.
Nope, he might have spun maybe, and just we can see that we do have a line drawing up in there, but unless the rain is going to start to stop, the track is not going to be in a condition for slicks. So for now we are on intermediates, and Donkey Dan has caught up with Prisker, and he did try to look on the outside for a bit. Risky move there, and they just touched for a little bit. It was just a slight kiss. It's not really a good idea to even get so close to the other car. You can so easily spin in this weather. Josh is in the gravel, unfortunately for him, and the AlphaTauri driver is surely going in the pits after this one. That was not a safe re-entry in the track. Could have easily collected invisible there. He's not going in the pits, might not have damage after all.
So we have Reptile catching up for third place and into turn 3.
And he does take a look on the inside, but the Red Bull driver just has the better line and the better grip and manages to just hold on.
Going into turn 4.
Mobile Reptile going once again on the inside. Will he make it stick this time? He does. The Haas driver. The Haas driver manages to get in the top 3. That was a bold move from him. He didn't give up. Yes, he didn't give up, and he got the position. The other Haas of Sorensen, after losing out on his P2 at the start, is holding on to the Red Bull and staying there, and surely will try and make up for that mistake.
And I'm looking at the battle for 6th place right now, where it's looking close between for Renault and Alfa Romeo.
Finding grip on that uphill is so hard. But look at Matchip. He's already come back from behind and he's catching up. Already won 3 positions back. Surely Josh and Invisible have spun and he managed to. But he is back in the train. He is back in the train and he is back in this race.
Well,
if we look at his
drive.
14 seconds from the leader, so that not that far. Impressive pace by the Mercedes driver. He's surely coming back in this race. Meanwhile, the first penalty of the race goes to Sørensen. The Haas driver gets a penalty for multiple warnings.
I'd say that the McLaren of Bristol has gained 6 places from starting from the back. It's been a good drive from him so far, managing to stay out of trouble.
As I said, on his good days, Bristol can get a very good run in. How is that Red Bull feeling with a Haas behind and a Haas in front of him, being sandwiched like this? Surely not the best position to be in.
It's actually a very close fight between 3 of them.
We still have the fight between the Renault of Dogovs and the Alfa Romeo of Zeppadoodle. For 6th, this is going on still, and we have Donkey Dan still having Prinsker within a second. Unfortunately for him, no DRS. Dogovs, the Renault driver, gets a 3-second time penalty. You think we're gonna see slick tires this race?
It's not dying down quite yet, but we maybe will see it because it doesn't seem to get any worse.
It looks like drivers have settled into a race pace. Times have started to, intervals have started to be a bit bigger while they try to find a bit of space between them so they can see in front. We have someone stuck. Will he go in the pits? Yes, he will. Most likely he does not have a front wing anymore. Unfortunate for him.
I was on board with Madchip and it happened just a couple of seconds up the road from him.
Meanwhile, Donkey Dan is very close to Prinsker and he will challenge him for the lead. Oh, just a small error there from Donkey Dan allows Prinsker to run away and gain 3/10 out of that corner.
I'll keep good look on this nice battle between the two Haas drivers who are sandwiching the Red Bull. Looking to get even closer. A little bit of a mistake by cars. Fifth, which we can pull back a little bit.
Keeping that small train of 3 cars and not being able to overtake one another allowed Zapadul, the Alfa Romeo, to get close to them, and we have Black Mamba out again after just exiting the pits, and he gets a 10-second time penalty. His season did not start off in a very good way for him, unfortunately. The Racing Point of Fretty is looking to hunt down Fiscal and charge for 9th place as we speak.
So one of the other questions here is actually higher, where how long will the intermediates last before you have to pit? How many have practiced on that in intermediate conditions to know how good the car will be?
I think it really depends on how much the drivers will create a dry line, you know, on the racing line, and it really depends. My guess would be it's a 50-50 race, like 50% of the race on inters and the other half on inters. You can't really go to the end on intermediate tires. You could do it on full wet, I think. I'm guessing intermediates will fall off at some point.
Yes,
It's surely a two-stop. It's surely a one-stop strategy if the rain doesn't stop. If it stops, then you never know.
A lot of them are so close that we could be looking at overcut strategies as well. It could be very interesting.
Most likely. Most likely.
I hadn't even noticed that the big wheel had caught up to
Zapadul. Yes. Oh, just a slight touch there from the Alfa Romeo driver. And that puts him a bit behind now on the back foot. But look at these cars. Dogarbs has joined the train as well, so we have a multiple car battle there. While Donkey Dan is sticking on with Prince Killer, and he's not gonna let him go. It's gonna be very interesting to see which of these drivers will decide to pit first.
It makes all the difference in the race. Sometimes you can hate saying that pit stops make the race, but this might end up being like that. It's still been an excellent race so far.
And you know, if you look behind them, like, it's not... Look, I mean, Mobile Reptiles can see Donkey Dan. And they're not like a huge time behind. Any error on the first two drivers is gonna bring another 4 drivers, 5 actually, right close to them. So they cannot lose sight of at any second. There's no relaxation there. Problem with problem in these trains is that if you wanna do a dive and just go for the overtake in a corner, you have to be aware of the driver in front of that driver that you're overtaking as well, so you don't hit him. Absolutely, so overtaking is becoming much more harder than it usually is.
Josh at the back just overtook Invisible. We've got close battling up and down the field, which is excellent. That's exactly what we want to see.
Donkey Dan is again close to Prince. This is a very close race.
Yeah, I believe that there seems to be a lot of saving of the overtake as well. The ERS appointment was actually very high for a lot of the drivers.
You know, I don't think you can actually risk it, you know, just using it everywhere. You just have to be full speed in order to press it, so you make sure you don't have wheel spin.
Oh, absolutely, especially in the wet. It's definitely different use. And that Donkey Dan using it right now.
Look at that line of cars.
I think Reptile was starting to pull away a little bit from that group until he had a little wobble in turn 1, which is not come closer again. Any little mistake brings that group back together.
I don't know how much is pulling away, but he might be. But I don't know if maybe the drivers are not allowing some space between them, just so they can see.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
The spray doesn't seem to be that bad, actually. Meanwhile, in the back, Jerome is 5 seconds behind 7th place Dogarbs, the Renault of Dogarbs, and he's just pacing himself, trying to catch up. Meanwhile, not making mistakes. Fiscal, starting from P15, is in the points right now, and followed closely by the Racing Point of Fretty, with Mad Chip chasing the pack and hoping to get back in the points after starting in P4 and having a blistering start.
Yeah, start with
yes. And we have the drivers that actually had problems at the start, and we have Black Mamba, whose race is really not going according to plan. But he is going to use this race to accommodate with the season and surely come back stronger, as he is one of the drivers that is always in the mix. Meanwhile, our train is still there, and we are looking at the Haas of Sorensen from the cockpit of the Alfa Romeo, and we see them. I'm sure they could try and overtake. My bet is they're playing it safe, trying not to dive bomb, not trying to stay safe and just wait for someone else's mistake, you know.
First to make the call for pit is Renault driver Roger, and Jerome also in the pit as well. So see if that plays into his hands with the tight field that he was in.
So we are already almost at half the race, and we will surely see mostly everyone pitting in just a bit of time. The pit window is clearly open. I'm really curious who of Donkey Dan or Prince is going to be first. And Donkey Dan goes in the pits, and he's going to go for the undercut.
Could be interesting.
And Prince is going to, and Mobile Reptile is in the pits also. Ward Schreiber, the Red Bull, and Sorensen the Haas also is in the pits.
So it's definitely don't
Prince Killer is in full overtake mode, trying to put a very good lap down. Most likely he will go in the pits this lap, trying to not allow Donkey Dan to overtake him. Donkey Dan, who is actually already out, but he is in traffic behind Josh, and it really depends how much time he is going to lose behind the AlphaTauri driver.
But this can be one of the issues with doing an undercut is getting stuck in traffic. Gets the overtaking on 4 though against Josh.
And they are wheel to wheel, but Josh actually concedes the position, knowing that he is going to have to stop anyway. So, and Prisker is going in the pit. He was a bit fast. Cepadul, the Alfa Romeo, also. Fisco is he going to lead the race? No, he is not. He is going to go to box himself. Fretty also. Matt Chip is going in the pits also. And we have Donkey Dan, and we see Prisker coming out of the pits now. What will it happen? What will no, the positions are unchanged. The undercut did not prove to be effective, and they are racing again.
I think
from scratch.
Yeah, I think Prince Killer's use of ERS is very well made there, and that's what helped him keep that.
Yeah, yes. And look at this. The big loser of this pit strategy is still the Haas drivers of Sorensen, because now Dogarbs has managed to get to slot into P5 and Zapadul P6. Sorensen has lost a couple positions there in the pits. However, Mad Chip has managed to get in the points. He didn't manage to slot in front of Fretty after pitting.
Managed to jump Fretty out of it. Didn't catch them being that close, but clearly there was.
So look at Dogarbs, what a race he's having. 8 places, 1 already. And he can go to the end, so if he doesn't make a mistake, he can actually get good points after leaving from the back of the grid. And look at Fiscal also, slotting into P9 there. As we said, the rain can really. And look at Donkey Dan trying to get past Prisker, and can he do it? Can he get the inside? They are racing wheel to wheel. Donkey Dan has the better line in there, and he manages to do the overtake. Donkey Dan is our new leader of the race, and Prisker is going to have to chase him for the next 16 laps.
That was fantastic.
That was a very good move from Donkey Dan. He has managed to put his tires into the optimum temperature faster, most likely, and found some extra grip there.
And Mobile Reptile's right in the back of both of them now, as well as Red Bull driver, so it looks like we have a 4-way fight for the lead now. All within very close range of each other.
Look at Prisker, he is already in the back of Donkey Dan, and he is right in his gearbox, trying to take back what he owned for half this race. More than half, actually. The Ferrari driver will surely not be content with losing that position, and will give it his all to take it back. And he does have a bit more ERS to play with than the Mercedes driver. In the back, the fight for P4, 5, 6 is not over yet.
Absolutely not, still very close. And very close to the front two now, as compared to the couple of seconds they were off earlier. So.
And while we are talking about Donkey Dan and Prince Cure for the win, we are omitting the host of Mobile Reptile, who is actually right in the back of Prince Cure, and he's surely thinking of getting involved in that fight at some point during the next 14 laps.
Actually getting rather hard to guess who will win this race. At the beginning I was thinking it would be Prince Keller, but now there seems to be a few. There really does seem to be a few different options. Donkey Dan's being the leader right now.
I don't know if any of the 4 cars have penalties.
That's true. So I hope it doesn't come down to penalties.
But we have someone out, and it's the Ferrari of Invisible, unfortunately for him, out in the gravel.
He's managed to return to the track.
And he doesn't have a wing, so most likely it's back to the pits for him. Donkey Dan has managed to build a gap for himself. He does have a second. I don't know if Prince had a second to Donkey Dan during this race. So if the Mercedes driver manages to build a bigger gap for himself, he might just run away with this race.
I don't know if it's just for me, but it does seem like the rain may have got a bit lighter.
I'm just gonna take a quick look. Someone saying that Donkey Dan does have 3 seconds of a penalty, and I'm going to... Yes, he does! Donkey Dan does have 3 seconds of penalty. So basically, and Mobile Reptile also has penalty. So basically, all Prince has to do is just stay between these 2 drivers, and the race is his. Unless he gets a penalty of his own. But yeah, Donkey Dan, if he wants the win, he's gonna have to push really hard and build a bigger gap for himself.
Yeah, and it's staying around that second mark. So right now, so not sure if he's going to be able to do it, but I guess we'll find out.
The rain does not seem to go away, so I'm guessing it will stay with us for the remainder of this race. Donkey Dan is building a gap. It's slow. It's growing slowly, but it is growing. Dark Josh has managed to come back in the fight for P10 after that mishap of his going out.
Yep.
While Invisible and Black Mamba are having a race they would rather forget, I'm sure, after it ends. But basically what we're saying is that Will Schreiber, the Red Bull driver, is in the mix for podium. Because Mobile Reptile is going to miss the podium if he doesn't get past Prince.
Yes, that means chances are the fight between the Red Bull and the Renault is actually for the final podium spot. Depending how close they get, it could be for second place. Although the gap is now 2 seconds for the Mobile Reptile, so they're starting to get with that gap that he needs.
Yes, in these higher categories, any penalty can count massively towards the end result, because gaps are so small.
Close racing is how you want it to be, but that's, if you get penalties, it's a big quick endurance to where you may finish at the end.
Donkey Dan has managed to build himself a 1 second gap, but unfortunately I don't see that gap growing. But you know what? Prince is actually Donkey Dan and Prince are pulling away from Reptile. So the Haas driver really needs to step it up if he wants to keep that podium position.
Right now, we're basically looking at Miller in the driving seat. He might be in second on the road, but he's first after penalties at the moment. So, I think with 10 laps to go, it will be quite difficult for Donkey Dan to make that 3 seconds after yesterday. We're back to 7 times coming over that. Also starting to sense that some of the drivers are just, especially in the tight fields, are just biding their time for a late attack, so there isn't a chance to get back at them from the other drivers.
Well, you know, it's a long season. I mean, it's a 16 race season, so most likely everyone is thinking that it's not small. Donkey Dan gets a penalty again, so this will get him, even if he wins the race on track. I mean, it can get him really far away. I mean, like, look, Dog Arms is 6 seconds behind him. So basically, it can get him to P5. Oh my God, Donkey Dan has. Oh, that's really, really bad. So unfortunate for the Mercedes driver to get that, and while he's actually in the lead.
He's trying to push to make that gap, I think, and it's
most likely yes.
I think that firmly puts Prince Miller in the lead in this.
Most likely yes. I mean, all he has to do is bring the car home, most likely.
In fact, even if he did manage to get a penalty, I believe he'd still be in first place at this point with a couple of penalties.
We have another yellow flag in Sector 2. I don't know who that was, but most likely just a small outing. While the fight for 5th is actually going to be extremely important, because if Donkey Dan falls from there to P5, it's going to be really a time trial now to just get within 6 seconds of Donkey Dan, just to see. I mean, Zapadou is 6.5 behind Donkey Dan, so he would actually, even if he stays P6, he would, if he manages to get in that time frame, he could very well win a position.
May have been invisible that went off this season.
Dog Arms gets a penalty of 3 second penalty, so this changes everything.
every time we see a penalty, everything is changed.
Well, you know, for a track that harsh, like Austria, we haven't seen that many penalties actually. I mean, yes, there are some, but not a huge amount.
Yeah.
And look at Madchip in contention for P9 after falling all the way to the back of the grid in the beginning of the race.
Of course, Bisco started at the back as well, so both trying to salvage what they can from the race.
Well,
the points
you know, in the end, I think they're both going to be okay with either P9 or P10 after starting from the back and after falling to the back in the first lap. Well, basically you get what you can. So
absolutely, it's good to get points after either a bad qualifying or a bad start.
But look at Josh trying to stay in the back of the Mercedes, hoping to snatch that last point from him. With 5 laps to go, it's a big fight for the last point-paying positions, and with a championship this long, any point is going to be important at some point.
Absolutely. Anything can happen to any of the drivers on any given race, so any points you can grab is important. And Madchip got a bad run out of turn 3, and Josh.
They are wheel to wheel going in the corner. Just don't lose the grip, Josh. And he managed to make the overtake. He did make it stick, and it was a very, very brave move from him. He could have lost grip so easily in that corner.
Yes, Madchip gave the space to allow it to happen, but still defended it very well. Unfortunately for him, Josh got past.
Well, that's racing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Prince is... Josh gets a penalty, so that's not going to help his efforts. Meanwhile, Prince is closing the gap with Donkey Dan. To be honest, I doubt he's going to try a move unless it's 100% risk-free. Jeopardizing a win with just to get the win on track, I don't think. And Madchip actually... Oh!
Oh, just braking too late, so it doesn't place. They're side by side. Sometimes it can be hard to judge at that point.
Mobile Reptile just got another 2-second penalty, so this is going to be disappointing for him at the end of the race, depending on penalties behind him. Trevor gets a penalty. I think these drivers are just going to keep their order because of penalties.
That could happen, yeah.
Because Doglars has a penalty, Trevor has a penalty, Reptile has a penalty, Donkey Dan has 2 penalties. So basically, I think Zappadoodle bites actually, I don't know if he does have penalties, I didn't see it, but if he doesn't, he can go all the way to the podium. Like maybe even P2 if he keeps it clean.
And I think trying to just get... Yeah, I think Mobile Reptile, depending on other penalties, as you said, could now drop to possibly 7th behind his teammate.
Well, anyway, basically the Haas's and the Red Bulls are in for good points today.
They've had very good races today.
Yes, both teams in the top 10. But I must say this has been an entertaining race from the get-go.
It's driver. He went up 8 places since the beginning of the race. That may change, but I think it's a great drive by him.
It's clear that it's obvious that all the drivers have expected this first round, and they have had enough time to practice for it, and everyone wanted to get a good start. As we get near the end of the race, Prince is stuck in the back of Donkey Dan. Surely not gonna make a move. That would cost him the win.
Yeah, I think it would have to be something that Shears will get. He's now got fastest lap though, so may want to win it on track. Probably best to not take the risk.
Zapadou try. Oh my god! He did try to get that position from the Renault driver. Did he? No, he's whole. I thought he might have lost an end plate there. That would have really ruined his race. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, heroic. I don't think it would be smart to go into heroics in the last couple of laps of the race. I don't know. You know, it's hard to know in the race how many penalties all the drivers in front of you have, and how much you can go up the order. You know, you can ask your engineer about the one in front, but you don't know the one in front of him, and so on and so on. So usually, Zapadou, he gets a penalty. He gets a penalty now.
But the point you make is you don't always know where the penalties are, so maybe you do need to go for it now. But it being so early in the season, even then, would it be worth risking the 19 points that Prince Miller's got right now? But he would have 26 because the penalties into the...
So we are now in the last lap of the race, and we have Donkey Dan leading Prince Killer on track to end the first race of this season. A rainy race, actually.
Of course it was going to happen. But I think it's been an excellent race for the opener of C2.
It has been. And there we go. And we have our winner, ladies and gentlemen. We have Prince Killer getting over the line. Mobile Reptile keeps it. No, he doesn't. Zapadoodle slots in the in the third place. And look at that, he would have gotten P2 if not for that penalty at the end, in the penultimate lap of the race. Yeah, and we have Magic overtaken by Fretty. Yes. In the last lap, well, P11, P12 is really not much. Matchip! Yes, he gets P10. Matchip, our debutant in C2, gets away home with a point from his first race in this tier. So we have our winner. Prince Killer has done a solid race, error-free, and he reaps the rewards for it. Donkey Dan, solid effort, unfortunate with those penalties. Zapadoodle, very good effort for him. Unfortunate with that penalty in the penultimate lap, he could have gotten P2. So, driver of the day, we have Dogarbs. Obviously, he's won a lot of positions.
Yeah, I guess it's almost warranted that driver of the day, but I've probably got to give it to Prince Killer by just keeping it clean, keeping it on the track, and having a great race at front, which led him to the first win of the season and the first race.
Let's see if we can get, I don't know, it's the first race and I didn't talk to the drivers beforehand, but let's see if maybe we can get our winner in for a quick interview and see his thoughts about this race. Let me see if I can find him. There he is. I don't know if I have Donkey Down and Zeppadoodle, but I'll just ask Prince to invite them if I can get a hold of him. So let's see if our winner of the day will join us for a short interview after this race. I'm not seeing him on the Discord, but hopefully he gets the invite and sees it. It was a great race. And yes, and we have our winner with us, I think. Let's see. Welcome, Prince. Hello, Prince.
Hello.
Well, hello and welcome and congratulations for a stellar drive. Very solid drive, beginning to the end, error-free, first race of the season, started off on the right foot.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah, it was a tough race against Dan. He was also very quick. So yeah, he overtook me. So then I thought, no, I can't overtake him again. But then I saw he had a 3-second time penalty. I heard from Jeff. And yeah, then it was just managing my own warnings, because I had one warning to go, and I would get the penalty. And then suddenly he had 6 seconds penalty, and then it was in the books.
Yes, we were commentating, and we were sure that you're not going to try any heroics in the last lap.
Actually, I wanted to try it, but he was too fast. Because it's not as good if you win with time penalties than if you are the first guy to cross the finish line.
Surely, yes. A win on track is always feels better, but well, a win is a win, and I'm sure you'll take it.
That's true.
What are your thoughts on the season? I'm sure you're looking to contend for the title.
Yes, I promised last season to Spaghetti Chips after my first win that I will fight for the title this season. So.
We are looking forward to see at least one Ferrari doing good this season. And Great Britain next. How do you feel about the track, and how do you feel about the race next?
I hope it's dry. Then then it's a great track. Yeah, I think I can do good there. One of my favorites.
We are glad to hear this, and this has been a very good race and a very good show provided by the C2 drivers. Tonight we are going to see each other again next Wednesday for the second round of the RLH season, and we will go to Silverstone and see the action there. Thank you again, Multirab, for commentating with me.
No problem. It was a great race, and maybe we'll get another chance to do this again for C2, because it was fantastic.
For sure. Race. Congratulations again, Prince Killer. See you next week on the grid. And with this, we conclude our first race of the season, and we will see each other next week. Thank you, and good night.